This video contains subject matter that may be offensive and disturbing to some people. If you are the type to require a warning throughout a video or show, let this message serve as your warning. This channel discusses the harsh reality of true crime. If this warning is not sufficient for you, consider a different genre and unsubscribe from my channel immediately. Yo, I didn't reset anything from earlier, so hold on a second. Forgot about that part. Hold on a second, everybody. Stream gold. All right. Thank you. Okay, I'm not sure what happened to the... Let me check it out. Gotta fix something over here. Don't know where it went. But anyways, thank you, Amber Maiden. Appreciate it. I think the thing at the top still works for you guys. I think. Let me try to see if Amber got in there or not. Yeah, I had to reboot my computer, so things weren't quite working the way they were supposed to. Okay, I don't know. I don't know. We'll see if it works later. I don't know where anything went or anything. I just want to do the show. I don't know where the goals and everything went. They just disappeared off the screen there. So, thank you, American Lady and Amber Maiden. Appreciate it. Maybe we can try a show without it again.
Chewbacca?
Yeah.
Oh, I'll be Chewbacca if you want me to.
So pretty amazing news for the freaks here. The Allatoona Doe that gosh, I think it was like 2 or 3 years ago is when we picked it, maybe 2 years ago, as one of the cases to do, and it's been solved. And it actually turns out it's similar. Exactly what I thought happened originally was that the guy had fins on. Now let me just read through the article so you can just hear it the way it the articles were, and just be able to get a better feel for it. All right, so this is one of the articles back in the day. So in 2018, it says police said the identity of a man found dead in Allatoona Lake is is a mystery. So this is back then. Anyway, and it's all because of you guys. You guys support the channel and allows me to keep doing what I'm doing. And then I donate large amounts of money, kind of like the bulk effect element, where I can donate thousands of dollars because you guys are supporting me the whole month, and that allows us to do it. We've done 10 cases. So anyways, police said the identity of a man found dead in Allatoona Lake is a mystery. Investigators told Channel 2 Chris Jose they've taken fingerprints and facial recognition. Now they need your help. The Bartow County Sheriff's Office gave Jose a sketch of the man recovered from Allatoona Lake. Investigators said someone on a boat found the man floating on the water on September 1st, 2018. At this point, we merely are looking for anyone who can identify this man. The man had on a backpack filled with rocks and sand, ankle weights, and a small boat anchor tied to his waist. Obviously, we know a gunshot caused his death, but what the manner of death was, we need to put together his lifeline and figure out why he was at that lake. Deputies said the man doesn't match up with any missing people. So I thought, actually, let's just go to another one. There's more detail in each one of these. So the Bartow County Sheriff's Office is seeking assistance on Saturday, September 1st, 2018 at about 5:40 p.m. Bartow County Sheriff's Office personnel were dispatched to the Bethany Bridge area of Allatoona Lake in response to a body found floating in the lake. The man was moved to the shore by Bartow County Fire Department rescue boat. The man was identified as a white male between 55 and 65, approximately 230 pounds and about 5'10". He was wearing a t-shirt and shorts, black swim flippers, okay, that's weird, right? And backpack. His backpack had rocks and sand inside, and he was wearing a small ankle weight on both feet, as well as having a small boat anchor tied around his waist. He had suffered a gunshot wound to his right temple. No identification or markings were found on his body. So I was saying back then, it could be a suicide. I mean, that's what I was saying. I thought it could be. I mean, like the main story, because what else would it be? The flippers never made sense to me. So what I was thinking was that the individual put on flippers, weighed himself down, and went out on the water, and then shot himself in the head, and the weights sunk him to the bottom, because why else would he have flippers on? Okay, then they said that he was sort of, other information came out that he was bound with all of his arms, which makes that impossible. But we never had a confirmation on that, so it's just kind of like that was the only thing I needed confirmation on, is what were his hands bound. All right. So then, I mean, these are just, I'm going back in time here. Like here's another one. That's what he looks like right there. The John Doe was disposed of, so they say disposed of in the lake after being shot on the right side of the head. See, they didn't think through it. They just came up with what they wanted to come up with to prevent him from surfacing. A backpack containing rocks and sand was placed on his body, as well as a pair of ankle weights and an anchor fastener to a back brace. Additionally, white and red ropes were used to bind the body, most likely from decomposition. His remains later surfaced near a bridge where the water was measured to be 6 feet deep. It is unclear whether the body has floated to the surface or if it was dumped where it was found. Yeah, okay. All right, so then we go to I think this is actually on a website. Let's see, where is it? This website said the Bartow County Sheriff's Office released a sketch. The body was found September 1st, Bethany Bridge area. So that's basically the same thing we were just reading. And just a second. And then we get to today, which now since I had to reboot, things aren't in the same place as that they were earlier. Of course. You know how it goes. Just a second. There it is. So here we go. This is the, after all this time, see what we did over here was we had to, we first funded it with, money to do just the generic, you get a bone, you extract the DNA, and then you identify it, but there was too much bacteria in there. But they actually had a hair sample of him, so we had to spend more. I think we spent like around $10,000 just to identify this person. All right. So it says in here, Identifiers International LLC, in conjunction with Bartow County Sheriff's Office, Georgia, announces the identification of Allatoona Lake John Doe as George F. Madden III. Mr. Madden was a resident of Columbia, South Carolina at the time he was reported missing in October of 2019. He was identified using forensic genetic genealogy based on a sample of his hair. The identification was later confirmed through his dental records. In August 2018, the remains of an unidentified male were found in Lake Allatoona near Cartersville, Georgia. He had suffered a single gunshot wound and carried no identification. A fingerprint comparison and facial recognition analysis by the Georgia Bureau of Investigation failed to identify the man now known as Madden. Sheriff Clark Millsap said, "We are very thankful for the assistance of Identifiers International LLC was able to provide in our investigation, allowing us to identify Mr. Madden. Without their assistance, we would not be able to provide closure for the family. We are pleased to assist," and then this is Colleen, I think, says, "We are pleased to assist the Bartow County Sheriff's Office in this difficult case. The case demonstrates the persistence that can be required for obtaining DNA samples suitable for FGG. Once the data was available, senior forensic genealogist Linda Doyle quickly identified Mr. Madden. According to Sheriff Millsap, further investigation and interviews with family members has concluded this case. It is believed that Mr. Madden died as a result of self-inflicted gunshot wound, and there will be no further criminal investigation. Identifiers would like to recognize the generosity of Grays Investigates for funding the FGG work on this case." And that's all you guys, right? I mean, so you guys support the channel, allows me to do this. So that's why every single night I'm sort of pushing, I don't like doing it. I hate having to always say, "Hey, you guys, would you like to help support the channel?" It seems like it just should be sort of an obvious thing to do, because this is what we're doing here, all right? So I wish I didn't have to do that all the time. But yet again, if you guys would like to help support the channel, there's no goal on the screen tonight, but you still have the super freak situation at the top. I don't know. It disappeared after I reset it. The earlier numbers are from earlier where we didn't meet the goal on the earlier show. So I'd like to get somewhere around there on tonight's show to keep us on pace for the month. Is that something we can do, everybody? That'd be awesome. Thank you. About Identifiers International. Identifiers International is a fee-based forensic service that works with law enforcement agencies, coroners, and medical examiners to apply genetic genealogy. See, we did the entire thing here, you guys. Hey, wow, thank you. Calico 3. Yeah, and, every one of you donate, but there's some people that donate quite a bit, of money, and they're a huge part of being able to do this. So, thank you very much. Thanks, Lane Dune. And trolls out there, go F yourselves, okay? Look in the mirror and call yourselves idiots, okay? Because this is what we do. Alright? This is the fourth one we've done. Right? Thanks, Lane Dune and Calico 3.
I'm so proud to have helped give some John Doe / Jane Doe their real name back. Boom chakalaka freaks.
Boom chakalaka. That's right. That's right. Thanks, Eugenie. Very cool. Very cool. Yeah, I mean, it's such a great feeling. I mean, the family doesn't want to be, doesn't want to be in the media or anything like that. But now at least he's got his name, and what family members are out there that want to take care of him. At least they know what happened to him. All right. We don't know anything about the guy, and it's hard. There's almost no information on him apparently. And it really, at this point, it's like, okay, our deal is, if it was a homicide case or something, we would kind of, keep digging around and trying to look at things. And so I'm sort of like, feel the same way in law enforcement, like, hey, at this point, you just move on to the next case. This one was solved. They probably were able to determine that he was 71 years old. Not that that's old, but I mean, he was, older guy, and it sounded like the family must have sort of confirmed that he was probably committed suicide or something. Or he unalived himself, for those squeamish people out there. Yeah. Did you hear, Gray? He made fun of the people that say unalived. Yeah, I sure did. I'll admit it. Here, I'm going to try to fix that. Let me see what it looks like over here on Streamlabs. Hold on a second. I bet it's working over here. Anyways, thank all of you. Everybody, even if you sent in $1, $2 all this time, some of that went to it. Okay? That is the reality. Oh, I guess it didn't. Hold on a second. Where is it? Oh yeah, it didn't get set up. Hold on. Oh, there we go. Now it works. So nothing got put on there, but yeah. All right. Well, anyways, it's working now, but yeah, now everything's working. There you go. That's how it's supposed to be. Yeah. Well, don't ever do it again, Marissa. That's just ridiculous. Yeah. Let's see. Thank you, Gray, using this against for bringing the case to attention. Yeah. Very cool. Yeah. And so, like I was saying, I don't know, but if that stream goal should be more, because we started off, it wasn't working, and now it's working. So hey, if we could reach the goal as it is right now, that'd be awesome too, wouldn't it? But I'll know when we get to the goal. But like I was saying, it's you guys. You guys support me, allow me to keep doing the shows. And then I, in turn, because I do shows every single day, I'm able to give a ton back. Like over 50% of the net revenue that goes to YouTube. All right, so you can all look in the mirror and say you were part of identifying that person. So now I think we've done 5 actually. 5 cases we've identified by our funding. That's pretty good, right? Yeah, I just read those missing persons. We don't know if there's any missing persons articles, but it doesn't really matter at this point, right? Because he's been identified, and he was, he was somebody that was kind of depressed. Hey, thanks, Calico 3. That's what I was chuckling at. Did you hear, Gray? He was chuckling at the guy being depressed. No, I was chuckling because Calico 3 said, let's test it. Let's see. Oh, it worked with the taco dance. That's not his picture, Nikki. Oops.
bastard.
Yeah, that's not his picture though, Nikki. It's just a drawing of what they thought maybe he would look like. So why do you want to look at it again? If it's not really him, it's just sort of a... I mean, I can show it to you, but, you know, it doesn't mean anything. It's just a drawing. And now it's not going to pop up, right? No, there he is. Oh, you can barely see it right there. Okay, let's see.
Allatoona Lake is a mystery.
Discovered ankle weights on the body and a backpack filled with rocks and sand. We launched news.
Wow, what a great prop that was, man. That was fantastic.
Lake really does stretch.
He also had a gunshot wound to his right temple.
The Bartow County Sheriff's Office gave us this sketch of the man.
There he is. That's a sketch they came up with. Did he look like that? Who knows?
Recovered from Allatoona Lake. Investigators say some.
So I think that's pretty amazing, you guys. We did it again. That's what the title was up at the top. And we still got 5 more out there in the works. 2 newer ones that we funded. All right. So pretty amazing. Pretty amazing. Hello. Man, you guys are just start typing. Yeah, well, I mean, I wouldn't be able to do it without you guys. I mean, that's the whole thing, right? So, thank you, your gypsy.
Chewbacca?
You could Chewbacca if you wanted to be.
Boom. GHI and Freaks rock.
Let's see. Yeah. All right. So, yeah, it sounds like he was sort of estranged from his family. So likely there wasn't anybody looking for him or anything. It was just kind of like, yeah. So, you know, why he was estranged, I don't know. But we're not going to get to, unless you, and they don't, in the family, I don't want anybody trying to contact the family or anything like that. Like, you know, he's the third, so there's going to be a second and a first. Just let him be the way they want to be. You know, he killed himself. You know, we don't know what the actual, you know, what was behind the scenes or anything like that. I'd like to, you know, you know, maybe one day I'll get to talk to the sheriff about it or something and get a little bit more details on it. I might actually reach out to him just to, you know, try to get a little bit of extra information. And I didn't have time. It was today, so. I mean, I've known about it. This is the one that I was referring to when I said, hey, you guys, looks like another case has been solved, but I can't see anything yet. Thank you, Alley Cat. Then Traveling Teresa. Oh, that's going to do another taco dance, isn't it? Let's see. Will it take... I wish, maybe we'll look up on Ancestry and see if we can find a school image of him. That'd be pretty interesting. You know, his name is George F. Madden III. You guys must be way behind now, because now it's not kicked. Oh, there it is. Jesus. Scared me. Yeah, I mean, I just think it's so cool, you know, to have a community here where, you know, some nights are a little bit of a struggle, but most of the nights are, you know, we make it through with doing the shows and also, you know, the reaching the goals that I set up there, and that's what allows. I mean, now,
waving heart.
like before I had the goals, and doing 2 shows. I mean, the 2 shows has allowed us to do the 6,000 last month.
Chewbacca?
But I'm not sure how long I'm going to keep doing the 2 shows.
Very exciting news.
I know Mama She 13 and a lot of people like the day show too. But, you know, I was doing the second trial of Jody Arias and there's only like 40-something people watching, so I don't know. I don't know if that's really something useful to do, you know. Yeah, it's weird. Well, yesterday too. You know, 2 days in a row, there was hardly anybody watching. That's because it's like the retrial, really bad, crappy video. Today was interesting though because there was these pictures that we never got to see that showed up on the screen. So I thought that was kind of cool. Seems to be... Yeah, well, the thing is, before when there was no goal, Marissa, like some nights would be better. Now it's like when it hits the goal, people go, oh, the goal's hit, and then it's done, where when there's no goal up there, people, you know, it's just a random number. So I don't know, you know, sometimes it's hard to know if it makes a difference or not. You know, and when I would give out notebooks before, it was when it hit 300, then I'd give out a notebook. And now the goal's at 250, and there's nights where I don't give out notebooks, you know. So it's hard to know exactly how that works. But anyways, awesome, everybody. We identified another person, and, you know, from our funding, it wouldn't have happened otherwise. And so George F. Madden III has been identified. He's from South Carolina, Columbia. I found him on... You know, been verified. He's out there. It says 76 now because that's 5 years ago. When he died, he was 71. Apparently, people hadn't seen him since 2017. So who knows how long he was in the water. I don't know. Mama She 13. Tomorrow I was going to go over the on the day show, the Corey Richens hearing that she had yesterday. Thought we could try doing some of that, and one of the comments that one of the sisters made about the husband that was murdered by the the writer wife. Yeah. So, all right. Well, there we go. That's the update there. Maybe Colleen might come on Friday, or maybe, I mean, we don't really know yet because she might have something to do, but we'll have her come on. I want him to word it, though, in the future in the articles to say, and thanks to Graves Investigates and he doesn't have to say freaks, but and his supporters. You know, I want you guys to have your name actually mentioned. I mean, you specifically mentioned in there, not just Gray Hughes Investigates. Although we're all part of the same, you know, we're all freaks, but you know, Gray Hughes Investigates doesn't really explain sort of the family, the Thanksgiving family type style, you know. Thank you, Danielle. Okay. You guys ready to move on to something else? Let's see, what was the next one going to be? Oh yeah. This is so crazy. It reminds me of Michelle Carter. Remember that wacko with the forehead that goes on for days, who convinced her boyfriend to kill himself? Well, what's this one right here? All right. So, DA Greenberg woman charged with aiding suicide after sending heinous messages to ex-boyfriend.
I'll be back if you
I mean, this lady is an evil pile of shit. I mean, I'm going to use the word shit because that's exactly what she is. A Greenberg woman, it's weird too because it kind of reminds me of, somebody on social media, one of the ex-mods, the way this person is, they just keep going after somebody and after them, even though they don't really give a damn about what they're doing. And they just keep go after them over and over and over again, trying to get them to just sort of ruin their soul. That's exactly what this lady is like. Just like the ex-mod who was removed for going over to another channel, but claims it was for a whole bunch of other reasons, and it really just had to do with her wanting to mod for a competitor who I actually didn't even like. So, of course you're going to be removed as a mod if you're modding for another true crime channel that I don't like, it, just makes sense, right? So that's what I'm saying. When you get psychos like that exist in the world, they sit there and just keep trying to go after you over and over and over and over again. So let's take a look at this one. A Greenberg woman is charged with aiding suicide after police said she sent heinous and graphic messages to her estranged boyfriend. Investigators said they found a letter written by 35-year-old Mandie Reusch in her estranged boyfriend's apartment after he died by suicide on June 18, 2021. Messages posted to his Facebook page detail a trail of torment and solicitation, the Westmoreland County District Attorney's Office said. According to state police, troopers who were part of this say some of the bullying and messaging was the worst they've ever seen in a case like this. This is the next level or more extreme amount of bullying I've seen. So that's what I'm saying. Like, if you create like an entire social media page to go after somebody and trash them over and over and over again, it's the same type of mentality. Just psychotic wackos. Okay? So, where somebody is constantly telling someone to end their life. True, yeah, and I've even had people send me emails about that too. Like, hey, you should just take your life, kill yourself, It's like, really? Man. According to criminal complaint, the messages started in June of 2020 and lasted for more than a year. Reusch is accused of telling her ex-boyfriend to take his own life on several occasions. The messages threatened the ex, that he would never see their daughter. He owed Reusch money, and some messages contained explicit images, videos, or themes. You're talking about the three of the biggest triggers you can have when making someone feel awful. Troopers were called out to the man's apartment after friends of his were concerned about his well-being. By the time they had gotten there, he had taken his life. Yeah, it should be illegal, But I mean, this here is illegal. It should be illegal to do that online too. But a lot of social media outlets don't give a shit. They really don't give a damn at all. So, troopers were called out to the man's apartment after friends of his were concerned about his well-being. Reusch's attorney, Phil, I think I actually have, let me load up Google Earth here. Yeah, we have this ex-mod that's really vindictive. Never talk about her at all. Don't give a damn about anything that she does or anything like that. But I removed her as a moderator because she was, I gave her a choice. She went over and started modding for this wacko preacher guy that does true crime. And I said, well, I'll give you a choice. You can, stay a mod on my channel or go to that one. And she said, well, I don't want to, I'm going to stay over there. Who wants to make, and it was just stupid. She wanted to stay over there. So I removed her as a moderator. And since then, she goes around on every show. Half the time, if I show up in the show, she shows up and starts telling everybody all these crazy things, and then started an entire social media campaign like against me because she felt jilted or something. I mean, absolutely an embarrassing person. But she goes and tells people all these other things because she knows that the reality of the story would make her look terrible. Okay, because the reality is I just merely removed her as a moderator. Okay, and that's it. And then I remember I think there was one time when she told people that what was it? Oh yeah, she lived near a crime scene, and I told her, hey, you should go over and film that. I've actually I found the text message exchange. She tells people that I told her to go over and to the crime scene wearing her outfit. Okay, like her cheerleading outfit. Okay, that's what she told people. Oh yeah, he told me to go. It doesn't exist. That never happened. Okay, I would never say that to somebody. It doesn't exist. If it's shown, then somebody doctored something, because I have the original conversation. And so when you say stuff like that and you try to trick people into thinking that something actually happened, that makes you a disgusting pile of crap, okay? So leave me the hell alone, and I'm going to go on and do what I do. But I'm keeping track of all the stuff that you're putting out there, just letting you know. It's not accurate, it's false information, and it's slander, all right? So thank you very much. Time to move on. All right, where is this thing? Yeah, okay, so Kevin Metzger is the victim in this case here. And he lived in this house right here. Kind of up on the hill there. I mean, I think this is his driveway. And apparently he has a child with this monster. And the wacko, you know, much like the social media person, they lived in this duplex right here. Yeah, is that on the other side? Yeah, I think it's on the other side, actually. Yeah, there it is. So it's the one on the right here. So she lives in this unit right here. And apparently her and the guy have a child together. Here, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to load up the one from Daily Mail first. Her Facebook account is shut down. Nothing there. God, what in the hell? Yeah, you sure don't want to ever click on an ad in Daily Mail, because it just takes you off. And look at all these things that pop up on the screen here. It's crazy. Attorney for girlfriend who goaded veteran boyfriend. So he's actually a military person. I mean, it's just sick. With barrage of evil texts telling him to kill himself, says they were immoral but not criminal. That's what her lawyer said. The lawyer representing Mandie Reusch told dailymail.com the case should not be criminal. It should be criminal. I think it should be criminal. I think she should get 10 or 15, 20 years in prison. I mean, people like this are sick people in the head. They are absolute monsters. I mean, you're sitting there convincing somebody, and look at, you're threatening to not allow him to see his only kid. You're just berating. I mean, I don't even know what to say here. When you read some of these, if anybody out there can find me, I found the criminal complaint, but it was 2 pages long. God, what's going on with this deer over here? Looks like a snake is eating it. That's crazy. Or a kangaroo or something. I don't know what the hell it is. Her name is Mandie Reusch. R-E-U-S-C-H. Yeah, I've already... I went to her Facebook page and it wasn't there. Maybe there's another one, but the one that was on Been Verified wasn't there. It's R-E-U-S-C-H. So, let me shut this thing, whatever this is over here. Attorney Phil DiLucente, I guess, also told dailymail.com exclusively that Mandie Reusch, 35, had been released from a jail in Westmoreland County in Pennsylvania on bond. She's facing charges of aiding suicide and harassment. Her estranged boyfriend, Kevin Metzger, 37, and the father of her daughter, took his own life in June 2021 after receiving a barrage of vile and abusive messages from Reusch while he was away on military training, prosecutors say. Those heinous messages allegedly included a video, listen to this, of the suspect having sex with another man. DiLucente admitted that though the texts could be considered immoral, he was confident that Reusch would beat the case. The attorney also rejected comparisons between the allegations of 2014 case of Conrad Roy. No way, man. This is worse than Conrad Roy. Well, I don't know if you can get worse, but it's right there. This stupid, look at this person here. You could play checkers or, chess on her head if she laid backwards, okay? If she laid on her back, you could put a chessboard on her forehead and it would be flat as hell. It would still be there. It wouldn't fall over. You could use it as a table. Hey, Gray, did you see what you're saying about her? This lady here is a monster, okay? And Michelle Carter and this Reusch lady are the same people, all right? In 2017... Carter was found... I think Carter, though, is a little bit more psycho. Like, what was her motive there? She's just crazy. Now, look at right here. It says, body of South Korean influencer found as couple charged with murder. Well, I guess they murder people over there, too. Yeah. On the day Metzger died, he wrote on Facebook, I can't do this anymore. She needs to be punished. The courts are too slow, according... Oh, wow. So he just got tired of waiting. No, I get what he's saying. You get these psychos like I have to deal with. And people just, okay, yeah. If social media websites would take everything more seriously and just shut things down quickly, people's lives would be better, but they don't do that. Okay, so you have to go to the legal route, and that's why I'm just sitting there collecting information. Yeah, it's good stuff. Anyways, on the day Metzger died, he wrote on Facebook, I can't do this anymore. She needs punished. To be is probably what it meant to say. The courts are too slow. DiLucente said the prosecutors are comparing the two cases. Carter was actually telling him, reinforcing him to do it, planning it, the methods and the means. You don't have any of that here. What you have is an emotional relationship between two persons involving their child, the attorney said. Well, no, but she told him to kill himself multiple times and she was relentless. The lawyer said that the messages sent by Reusch to Metzger could be considered immoral. I do not see it fitting a criminal charge. And boy, doesn't that remind you almost exactly of who I'm talking about here? Wow, that's crazy shit, man. Almost looks the same in the face. The preliminary hearing are going to be long, and I think there's going to be a wealth of information discerned, the lawyer concluded. Reusch of Greenberg is due back in court for another pretrial hearing on June 27th. Prosecutors have been investigating Metzger's death for 2 years. Officials said his suicide note began with the words, maybe she was right, as well as posting on Facebook page detailed the trail of torment and solicitation that he was allegedly put through by Reusch. In a press release, prosecutors also called the messages she sent Metzger heinous and graphic. In court documents, Reusch is referred to as Metzger's on-again, off-again girlfriend. The pair previously lived together in Irwin, Pennsylvania. At a press conference, Trooper Steve Lamani called the bullying that Metzger endured as some of the worst he's ever seen. This is next level or most extreme amount of bullying I've seen, read about, heard about, where somebody is constantly telling someone to end their life. You're talking about the three of the biggest triggers you can have when making someone feel awful. In a separate interview with CBS Pittsburgh, DiLucente said, "My God, if we're going to start prosecuting people for sending harsh texts to one another versus it being verbally communicated, then we're on a different path on our legal system." The messages from Reusch began in May of 2021 while Metzger was away at military training. The suspect, probably, who knows why they broke up or whatever, but that's probably what triggered her, much, again, very similar to what we've got. The suspect was at home at the time with the couple's daughter, the criminal complaint states. In text sent via WhatsApp app, Reusch said that she was planning to move in with another man, that the man would become their daughter's new father, and that Metzger would no longer be part of her life. "I hope for their daughter's sake that you do kill yourself." So, I hope for Mandie's sake that you kill yourself. She would be better off not even knowing you, Reusch wrote according to documents. On another day, 2021, she texted Metzger to say she would be having sex with her new partner as their daughter calls him daddy. Oh my God. Another message said that Metzger would burn in hell and that she would be dancing on his grave. Following an argument over money, Reusch then sent Metzger a video of her having sex with another man and destroyed some of his belongings. She was first charged with harassment in June of 2021 when Metzger made an initial complaint. Following his suicide, those charges went away. I mean, look at the psycho face here. And that's him. And that's their child in the back there. "I actually want you to kill yourself because I think you are the worst person on this planet," another message read. "I will make it my dying wish to make sure you don't see your daughter and that she knows who you really are," read another. While another read, "I hope you burn in hell and my daughter will dance on your grave with her real dad. Never talk to us again. Die slow and suffer." Look at these. Man, just a monster. During the investigation, older messages surfaced. In December 2020, she told him, "So glad I used you for what little money you have. That was the only good thing you've ever done for me and the kids, your money." In June 2020, she told him, "Go kill yourself. You aren't a real effing man." Metzger was found dead on June 18, 2021, 2 days before Father's Day. He was found after a friend asked police to perform a welfare check. Messages in the lead-up to Father's Day showed Reusch saying he wouldn't be allowed to see his daughter. A friend of Metzger told police that he had asked her to ensure that the messages he was receiving get known to the world. After his death, Reusch deleted WhatsApp from her phone, police said. Yeah, because she knows she was... let's see. Mr. Metzger may still be here today if those messages did not influence and encourage him to take his own life. Westmoreland County Nicole Nicorelli said in a statement. Nicorelli described the messages as being continuous and unrelenting, only ending when Metzger took his own life at the age of 37. We extend our condolences to the Metzger family for their loss and the grief that they have experienced since his death. The piece notes that at 11:30 a.m. on the day bars reopened, she was having a, let's see, in 2020 feature of Pittsburgh Gazette on a dining establishment reopening during the COVID-19 pandemic. Reusch is referred to as a booking agent for a multinational alcoholic beverages company. The piece notes that at 11:30 a.m. on the day bars reopened, she was having a pint of Guinness. I wanted to go out and have a cold drink. I don't really care about that. All right. There's that one. Awesome. And, don't forget the new goal we got up on the screen there, you guys. Let's see if we can hit that, and then the rest of the show's just nothing. Just doing it. The new goal. Army veteran is driven to suicide by girlfriend and mother of his child after she sent him heinous text messages. So this is the same one. The same, Daily Mail, but has different stuff in it. I actually want you to kill yourself because I think you're the worst person on this planet. I will make it my dying wish to make sure you don't see your daughter and that she knows you are really who you really are. I hope you burn in hell and my daughter will dance on your grave. So that's him right there. That sucks. I feel bad for the guy. A Pennsylvania woman, heinous and graphic. Oh, I can't see that one. Wait, do I have to? Let me try that. That Daily Beast was free. A Pennsylvania... No, we can't do it. So I guess we don't get to read that one. Here, I got the obituary of Kevin Metzger. Let's see what happens in that one. Kevin Metzger, 37, of Greenberg, died Friday, June 18, 2021. He was born August 30th, 1983. In Monroeville, a son of David L. Metzger of Florida, formerly of Allegheny County, and Nancy A. Metzger of Greenberg. He was a member of the Army for almost 20 years, having served in South Korea. I wonder if he knows Scouting Dude, this guy, He was a member of the Army for almost 20 years, having served in South Korea, working in Patriot missile defense. After being honorably discharged from the Army, he then re-enlisted in the Army Reserves, where he worked in the water purification unit. He had a passion for music and loved the local music scene. He organized bringing back metal music events to Greensburg area. He was a bartender and patron to the local bar scene communities. He was good at troubleshooting and servicing hot tubs and pools. Kevin, also an outdoor enthusiast, he would invite he would invite, lead, and document his climbing, rappelling, snowboarding, and biking, kayaking, and hiking adventures. He enjoyed playing with gadgets, utilizing and providing gear in his outdoor activities. He enjoyed a good time, but was always there for the friends in tough times. He was a selfless and dedicated friend. Above all, though, he passionately cared for his daughter, Salem, so that's what the girl's name is. He was a devoted father, and she was an extreme light in his life. In addition to his father and mother, Kevin is survived by his daughter, Salem, of Irwin, his brother, Jason. Yeah, it goes through there. He was preceded in death by his rescue dogs. So it says he was preceded in death by his rescue dogs in life, Rusty, Zoe, and Jack. And it's spelled just like our very own Zozo up there. Friends will be received from 2 to 4 and 6 to 8 p.m. at the LEOM. Anyways, it goes through, and then there's different people that were on another one that they were commenting on there. Let's see. A Greenberg woman is facing charges of aiding suicide and harassing after a man was found dead inside his apartment. Mandie Reusch, 35, is accused of sending heinous and graphic social media messages to Kevin Metzger. Mr. Metzger may still be here today if those messages did not influence and encourage him to take his own life. She went on to say the messages from Reusch were continuous and unrelenting for months until it finally stopped. And that's why I always think these social media bullying sites that are out there are the same. They just never end. They just keep going and going and going. The messages continued until his death in June, just days before Father's Day. Metzger and Reusch had a child together, identified in court documents as SM. The child was often the focal point of Reusch's messages. Police said one message read, "I hope for my daughter's sake that you kill yourself. She would be better off not even knowing you." Other messages, police say, Reusch sent to Metzger include, "Kill yourself. I mean it." Another read, "I actually want you to kill yourself because I think you're the worst person on this planet." Court documents also say Reusch told Metzger she was going to find their daughter a better father and said their child would dance on his grave. This is the next level. I mean, see, that's just sucks because there's actually here's what I'll tell you out there. I don't care how shitty your ex is, and you're the parent that gets custody. You have to tell that your kid, unless they're an actual, like, pedophile or some shitty thing, you got to make sure that they think that parent cares about them. Because if you start doing the other thing where you go, "Oh, he's a pile of shit on the side," it's just not good, man. It's not good at all. Yeah, I think you know what I'm talking about. There's moms out there that spend all their time with their kids trashing the father of them, and that's going to turn into a nightmare most of the time for everybody. Okay. Now, if there's an actual, like the guy's a violent criminal of some sort, that's different. But you always see this one. "Oh, we're not getting along, so I'm going to tell him how shitty you are." It's terrible. Thank you, K-Me. According to the criminal complaint, the heinous messages really started to increase in May of 2021. The messages continued until his death in June, just days before Father's Day. Metzger and Reusch, I wonder if there's any message, when they didn't find him right away? I wonder if there's messages that are just lingering on his phone that she sent him that were of the same ilk, just right there. When they find him, they open his phone and it's just, oh my God, Metzger and Reusch had a child together, identified in court documents. The child was often the focus point of Reusch's messages. Court documents also say Reusch told Metzger she was going to find their daughter a better father. This is the next level stuff. Metzger reported these messages to Irwin police in May of 2021. They charged Reusch with harassment. Those charges were dropped after Metzger took his life. Isn't that ridiculous? Oh, we're going to drop your harassment charges because the guy died because of your harassment. Yeah. There were other cases that were less persistent, less detailed, less physical evidence, and they had moved forward with some of these more serious charges. This law, Reusch's attorney Phil, this law was passed in 2021, an updated version, and I have found no precedent-seeking cases that have been published. He said Reusch feels she isn't getting a fair chance. I mean, it could be that she'll get off of a legal technicality thing, but at least everybody will get to know what a pile of shit this lady is, okay? She is a monster person. And the guy that's with her now should run for the hills, and nobody should ever date her again. There are some nasty things that are said, DiLucente said. Some folks may say it's immoral, some might say it's harsh, but my God, if we're going to start prosecuting people, I think we should start prosecuting people for that. That's the thing, If you're someone you know is struggling with thoughts of suicide, help is available. You can reach the National Suicide Prevention Lifeline 24/7 by dialing 988 or by visiting their website at https://988lifeline.org/. So there you go. Yeah, I mean, she shouldn't. I don't know what you do. Yeah, why should she get to have custody, Ada? I mean, what's the point of that? She gets custody so she can sit there and keep telling crappy stories, and the kid's going to grow up saying, oh yeah, she told me he was this and that, and that's why she wrote those things. Now, don't let her have those excuses. Give the child to Metzger's parents or a sibling of hers, and let them take care of the kid. So the real story's out there, not the one that she's going to want to spin. Yeah, don't you? Yeah, I mean, exactly. Maybe she would. The way her mind is, you could see her kid making a mistake in school and just badgering the living crap out of her, and then maybe one day the kid will kill themselves. Yeah, make sure to hit that like button, everybody. Pretty easy to do. You actually literally just press it. It's not hard at all. Hit the like button, hit the like button, hit the like button, hit the like button, 10, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, hit that like button, 10, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40. We've gone down in likes since I said that. Yeah. Well, of course, here comes the auction. That's what it's for. Okay, well, I think that's going to do it for that one. And then we're going to do... we covered the case of Tara Calico, gosh, I don't know, it must have been 4 years ago. And I thought we'd go over it again because there's new developments in it. So here we go. Well, actually, I'll start off with this other kid named Michael Henley, which, you know, it's just part of the story, you know. I think this one's been solved. So, missing boy sought near Grants. And this is in New Mexico. So it says, searchers were looking for a 9-year-old Milan boy Friday who was missing in the Oso Ridge area in the Zuni Mountains, southwest of Grants, authorities said. The boy, Michael Henley, became separated from his father, Mike Henley, on Thursday while the two were turkey hunting. About 25 people were participating in the search, which began about 2 p.m. Thursday. Searchers braved snow and temperatures of about 25 degrees, continuing the search overnight. For the child, the search was focused along the ridge north of New Mexico 53 and west of Forest Road 50. Let me go over to this one. Let's see, maybe we can find that road. What did they say? North of New Mexico 53. Yeah, New Mexico 53. Okay, right there. There's 53, and then the other one said, and west of Forest Road 50. Oh, there it is. 50 right there. Okay, north of 53 and west. So somewhere right in here. God, come on. So probably right in here like that. And this is 8,500 feet, man, that's way up there. And this road is 1,000 feet lower, but that's really high there. Albuquerque's high up in the air anyway. So what am I have to do, you guys, to get the stream goal going? Do I need to do a dance a jig or twirl around? It just all froze after the original story. We got to keep the juice going. Keep the juice going. That's how we get to be able to fund and do what we do with all the other cases out there. All right. Let's see. Is that the one? Oh yeah, that was the first one. Then the search continues for 9-year-old. Troops from the New Mexico National Guard were scheduled today to relieve some of the hundreds of civilian volunteers searching in the Cibola National Forest for a 9-year-old Milan boy. More than 200 searchers on foot. 40 troopers were on their way Sunday night to the search area southwest of Grants, and more were scheduled to arrive. Also 40 to 50. I mean, so they really did a huge search for her back then. Or him back then. Thank you, Texas Annie. There you go. Awesome. We're still working on the assumption that he is up and moving. We cannot abandon hope. How do they get separated, though? I mean, how do you separate from a 9-year-old? Searchers also queried hunters in the area. Going up to 1988. And volunteers comb Zuni Mountains for little boy. Yeah, we're on the 27th now. 23rd is the first article. The third grader at Milan Elementary School had been missing since Thursday afternoon when he went on a turkey hunt on the Osa Range with his father, Michael Henley Sr., and one of his father's friends. A spring snowstorm hampered the first search efforts. Milan Fire Chief George Knotts, a family friend, said the Henleys were holding up considering. So anyways, they're just looking for Henley Sr., his wife, Marty, and their 8-year-old daughter. Spent Tuesday at the base camp in hopes of hearing good news. Nope, there wasn't going to be any good news. And on the 30th, missing child report filed. Finally, they thought maybe they were going to find him, and then they didn't, so then they filed an official missing report. Okay, so then in 1988 in September, Tara Calico went missing. And so this is Pal's kin join hunt for teen missing. Tara Calico loves to ride her bicycle, and it was on that bicycle that the 19-year-old Belen woman was last seen by neighbors. Calico, a sophomore at the University of New Mexico Valencia campus, was last seen Tuesday morning riding south on New Mexico 47 on her daily 35-mile route southeast of the Rio communities. And so, it's interesting when she just lives right here. So, it's like 75 miles away. And This is Route 47. She lived on Brugg Street right over here. And here's Highway 47 that she would normally go on a bike ride. Probably just all the way down 47 and come back. It's a pretty long, straight drive there. You can even see it right there, Highway 47. About 60 law enforcement officers and volunteers were searching today in the remote area for Calico and her bicycle. Romero said he had a report of a Santa Fe Railroad crew finding a bike near Mountain Air about 25 miles southeast of Belen this morning. The description of the bicycle found by the crew was described as a pink Huffy 10-speed with upright handlebars, so that's not going to be related. Romero said deputies were in process of trying to determine whether the bicycle matched the description of the young woman's. While authorities pieced together what happened, friends and family hoped. She was very independent. She definitely had a mind of her own. She's extremely bright and resourceful, said friend Bernard Nixon, 18. She was a very good disposition and friendly manner about her. Thanks, Cindy J. And then again, 3 hypnotized in search for girl. Now we know where they're going with this thing. The men apparently were returning from a hunting expedition on... So it says 3 unidentified men were undergoing hypnosis on Saturday night after telling Valencia County officers they may have seen a truck following a missing 19-year-old college student from Belen, officials said. I think this part here is probably the case, right? Yeah, I found the one that the 2-page document that's out there. The men apparently were returning from a hunting expedition on New Mexico 47 Tuesday morning when they saw a truck slowly following Terra Calico southeast of Rio Communities. Romero said the men were southbound on the highway and both the girl and the truck were headed in the opposite direction. The men could not agree on the color of the truck and were sketchy on details. Makes you kind of wonder about them, really. The time frame, like you're blaming it on a truck, but you were there. Calico, a sophomore psychology major at the University of New Mexico Valencia campus in Tucson, left her home Tuesday morning on a 17-mile bike ride as part of her daily physical fitness routine. Family members reported that Calico would ride the route every day, listen to tapes on a Sony Walkman, and always return at a time she specified. Searchers found a musical tape identified as Calico's Wednesday near bicycle tracks where investigators believe a struggle took place. We should know a lot more about what they were able to see about the middle of the week, Romero said. In the meantime, the search and investigation will continue. I'm optimistic that we'll discover something soon. Thank you, American Lady. Pieces of Walkman found during search. So now they're finding searchers looking for Terra Calico, who disappeared Tuesday while bicycling near Belen, found pieces of what may be her Sony Walkman Saturday night near the entrance to a campground in the Mazzano Mountains. The discovery sent 150 searchers into the area Sunday. More than 265 people looked for the 19-year-old woman Saturday, scouring the river Bosque, the mesa west of Belen, and the foothills of the Mazzanos. Searchers spotted the broken pieces of a Walkman cassette player near the entrance to the John F. Kennedy campground. Let's see where that is. It's got to be on this highway then, right? If it's not, then where the hell... is that like over here? Right? Is this the entrance to the campground? How the hell do you get that here? So that's the campground. But maybe it's off of Highway 47 that you... I don't know. That doesn't really make a lot of sense. So I guess the person could have taken her Walkman and brought it there if it's hers. Searchers spotted the broken pieces of a black Walkman cassette player near the entrance of John F. Kennedy Campground. Is 19 miles east of New Mexico 47, right, where Calico was last seen during her daily bicycle ride. Members of her family said the broken Walkman might belong to her. She is a second-year psychology major at the University of New Mexico. Could be a red herring, though. 3 hunters were undergoing hypnosis. They said they had seen somebody following her on Highway 47. He said the hunters could not agree to an exact description. Okay, I'm just going to move on to the next one. On the 29th. Psychic. Oh man, they got the psychics in right away. That's her right there. That doesn't really look like her. She's got brown hair and it was straight. An Albuquerque psychic on Wednesday led sheriff's officers searching for a missing Bellin student to areas south of Rio communities where she believed the woman could be found, but the effort was unsuccessful. Wow, what a shock. Man, that is an absolute shocker. You know? You know what sucks is in one of the, the Oregon, what do you call it? The Oregon serial killer Facebook pages, maybe looking into the 6 women. Somebody said, are there any psychics? And then these 2 idiot mediums, or whatever you call them, the intuits are like, oh, I am. We should communicate together about this. Wow, they're already jumping in on that case. I mean, isn't that just disgusting? Can't believe it. Calico 19 disappeared September 20th while on a bicycle ride on New Mexico 47 south of Rio communities. Donner directed Valencia County Sheriff Lawrence Romero. I mean, I'm not even, who cares? But nothing came of the psychic information there. All right, so then we're going to move on to the 30th. Sketch of possible suspect in missing woman case withheld for a few days. Valencia County Sheriff Lawrence Romero said Thursday, how do they have a sketch when they barely even know what the car? That the release of a composite sketch of a possible suspect in the disappearance September 20th of a 19-year-old Bellin student has been put on hold. Right. 3 hunters from Bellin previously told the sheriff that one looked like a rodeo clown and the other said he looked like an astronaut. So we withheld doing the sketch. It doesn't actually say that. 3 hunters from Bellin previously told the sheriffs they had seen a man in a truck following Calico on New Mexico 47, south of Rio communities, the morning she vanished while riding her bicycle. Thank you, Daphne. Earlier this week, the hunters completed hypnosis and have been working with a police artist on a description of the man and the truck. Romero said the composite sketch will be made available as soon as the 4th witness, who came forward with new information Tuesday, finishes hypnosis. Hypnosis. God. Hypnosis for a... That's pretty cool. I like that image right there. Who's this? Okay. How do I do it? Huh. I don't know if my little... I have to get that started again. What's it called? Snag it, right? Snag it. There it is. There we go. There's snag it. Alright. Now let's try it. Huh. Doesn't seem to be working. I'm going to have to fix that later, but... Hey, I like that picture, though. Let me make a new one. There we go. Got it. I like that thing. That'd be cool to make that 3D. Has nothing to do with the case, but. Romero said the composite sketch will be made available. Searchers have found a cassette tape belonging to the missing woman near New Mexico 47 and pieces of a black cassette player that might have been hers at JFK campground. Dr. Romero Suarez, director of the... Actually, you know what? I think that really could be her Walkman, now that I think about what I know about what comes up later. So, let's see. Then on December of that same year, tip leads officers to search ditch for body of that teenager. They didn't find her or anything like that, but Flores and detectives were interviewing the informant, so they talked to an informant who led them to a ditch to look at. And mother's. So here's what. This is where it starts getting weird-ish, right? So mothers go in search of missing kids. So remember the Michael Henley that we talked about first, and then Tara Calico, right? So you see this right here, and there's an let's see, how do I get this on the screen here? Yeah, so is there another page on this one? It says right here, the parents of two missing New Mexico youth said today that a mysterious photograph of a bound boy and a girl appeared to show their loved ones. The snapshot, which a woman claimed to have found on June 15th in a parking lot near where a van had been parked, was shown Friday on the syndicated TV program A Current Affair. That was in Florida, actually, where the photograph was found. And here's the photograph. This is one, you probably have all seen this one. And you have this right here. Let me show you this. I mean, it's pretty crazy. I mean, I literally, I think that this girl, other than, the eyebrows are a little different, looks so similar, it's crazy. The ears are a little different and whatever. But it does sort of look like her, and this girl's athletic, and this is not really I guess, a piece of black tape. But this is what popped up, and isn't it weird that you have the boy here who looks exactly like, very similar. You can barely see it over there, but, you can see that right there. And this one. Okay, so you think to yourself, what are the odds that you have this state where you have two missing people? You have Tara Calico and Michael Henley, who are missing at this time, and it turns out that and then they're missing, and then there's this photograph that shows up that looks just like them. It's crazy in Florida, and the parents said that they think this is their daughter, which is really pretty interesting, right? Like, a parent would know their daughter and what they look like. Okay, but however, you got this scenario where then in June of 1990, skeletal remains may be the boy, right? So that says, the father of a missing Milan boy said the family has been told, thank you, Jim Lawn. The family has been told that human remains found southwest of Grants might be those of his son. We're just playing the waiting game, Michael Henley Sr. said Sunday. We've been told so many different things for 2 years that we just don't know. Yeah, isn't that amazing, Jim? An investigator with the... And guess what, Jim? Every time you send in your 5s and your 10s and whatever, that all is part of it. It's awesome. An investigator with the Cibola County Sheriff Department said Sunday the skeletal remains might be those of Michael Henley. We have found skeletal remains and have tentatively identified those remains as those of Michael Henley. Michael Jr. was 9 when he vanished on April 1988 while camping with his father near Oso Ridge in the Cibola National Forest. A search involving more than 250 people spanned several days. Let's see. Henley said the family won't make any assumptions until the final word is in. We were also told it was him in that van, that it was him in Arkansas. So that van that we're looking, this shot right here, this thing, right there, this image right here. Experts said that was him, right? The case was rekindled in August when a mysterious photograph of a bound and gagged young woman and a boy was found in Florida. Henley's parents thought the boy in the photo could have been Michael, and the woman was thought by her parents to be Tara. No further clues developed from the photograph. The Henley family also got a tip at one point that Michael Jr. had been seen in Arkansas. Henley said the sheriff's department had been keeping the family informed on any new developments. Then 4 days later, boy's body identified. The state office of the medical investigator has confirmed the skeletal remains found southwest of Grants are those of Michael Henley, a Milan boy who vanished more than 2 years ago. The remains were discovered last week by a rancher in a thickly wooded area about 5 miles west of where Michael was last seen. So his body was found where he went missing, and it was winter when he went missing. So it's likely that he died there. But, you know, I mean, it is 2 years later, and, I mean, want to hear a conspiracy theory? That whatever he was kidnapped for, let's say he was kidnapped. I mean, it's kind of random to be kidnapped in the winter up on a mountain, though, I gotta admit. But whatever he was kidnapped for, he served that purpose, then killed, and then put back up there to make it look like that he just went missing at that time. Because when you look at that picture, it's hard to not accept it, you know, that these exact two people here are not those two, and when they look exactly like how you might think they'd look. Yeah, I don't think that. I think it's probably likely that here we'll get to what they think probably happened to her in some of these other articles. So let's just rule him out now, that he's not the kid in the picture, because that's way more likely than this just being some invented, then, you know, you have to come up with a story where he was put back up in the mountains. So you have that. And I think it was this one. Yeah, so this is the picture they were showing. We went through that. And in 2008, let's go over this one here. Mystery of Terra Calico by Leslie Linthicum. A girl rides a bike on a lonely stretch of road, then poof, she's gone. The mystery of Terra Calico's disappearance began to unfurl a little afternoon on September 20th, 1988. This is 20 years later, when Tara's mother drove south on New Mexico 47 from Rio Communities, expecting to find her daughter with a flat tire. Instead, all she found in the dirt on the side of the road was a tire track from the bike Tara was riding. How did she find that? Tara never came home, and so began a family chain of sorrow and a puzzle that fed the television crime shows and a police case that has now stretched out to fill 2 bankers' boxes and 20 years. Gone without a trace. At least that has been the storyline. But the Valencia County Sheriff, Rene Rivera, the case isn't much of a whodunit. He says he knows what happened and has for years. 20 years into the Terra Calico mystery, Rivera would like to let everyone in on what happened to 19-year-old Tara out of New Mexico 47 on that September day. The individuals who did the harm to Tara knew who she was, Rivera told me. They know who she was, and they're all local individuals. And I believe that the parents of the attackers were some of the people that helped the individuals with hiding the truth or hiding the body or trying to escape prosecution. Tara was 19 and starting her second year in college. Her attackers were boys she had gone to high school with, although they were behind her in school and younger, Rivera says. She was a real pretty girl. She was very athletic, and a lot of guys wanted to talk to her. They wanted to meet her. They wanted to go out with her. And while she was riding the bike, they went up to try to talk to her, try to grab her, whatever, while she was on the bike. The truck they were driving accidentally hit Tara, Rivera says, and bad turned worse. Rivera had been working on the case since he started as a deputy in 1989, since he was promoted to detective in 1996, and since he was elected sheriff in 2006. For all of those years, the walls of Valencia County have been talking, naming names of the boys who were in the truck, names of the boys who helped bury Tara's body after they killed her, names of the parents and other relatives who helped clean up and cover up the mess. Rivera says he has had enough information to get arrest warrants for 2 boys, now men, whom he has identified as the killers. 2 others have been identified as accomplices. Then why 20 years later are we marking another milestone anniversary of a missing persons case? Because Tara Calico is still missing. It's kind of hard to make a case, Rivera says, without a body. Rivera and Detective James Purdy are still talking to people about Tara Calico, and they're hoping that time will wear away some of the resistance to answering that one lingering question. What did they do with her? You know, it's very frustrating, being that there's a lot of people that know what happened, Rivera said. They know the whereabouts of the body or the remains. A lot of the information that we are getting is because people are starting to open up a little more. When this first happened, people were scared. People were threatened not to speak out because what happened to Tara could happen to them. One of the most riveting aspects of the Calico case was a Polaroid photo found outside a convenience store in Florida a little less than a year after Calico went missing. It showed a bound young woman who looked strikingly similar to Tara in the back of the van, staring at the camera. A boy also bound was lying next to her. Tara's parents had the photo analyzed by Scotland Yard and said it was determined to be Tara. An investigator for the Valencia County District Attorney had a Los Alamos National Laboratory analysis that determined it wasn't her. Maybe the photo was of Tara Rivera says, but all of his information tells him Tara never left home. I believe the body is nearby, he says, and he believes her bike will be with it. Tara's father died in 2002, and her mother died in 2006. Living family members, kids, when Tara was a kid, are grown. Tara would be 39 later this month, and this is 2008, so she'd be 50-something now. I want to be able to give them closure, to be able to say who you know. Let me read that again. I want to be able to give them closure, to be able to say, you know, I got the individuals who did whatever they did to her. I was able to recover the remains and give them to give her a proper burial. That's kind of what we do with identifying Jane and John Doe. It gives them back to a family. Tara Calico's disappearance is one of New Mexico's oldest, most lingering cold cases. Actually, it's a mystery that's getting hotter every day, Rivera told me. Some people have this information, and they've had it for so long that they've gotten sick by They've gotten sick by hiding the information they have, and now they're coming forward to try to relieve themselves. Some of the people that were witnesses to the crime have been scared to come forward. They think that being that they were there, that they were going to get prosecuted for the death. At this point, right after articles like that, there's phone calls made. It'd be interesting if the police could have warrants on those 3 and see if any of them called each other right after this article. At this point, what I want to let people know is that if there were witnesses there, I'm willing to work with them. I need to have their information. I need to be able to recover this body. Man, you guys don't like Brian Laundrie's parents. Whew, man. Let's see, what's this one? Oh, yeah, here's another one. So this article is 2021. Okay. So let's see what this one says. Tara Calico's name popped up again on my calendar this week by annual reminder that on September 20th, her family and those who loved and remembered her marked another year without her, another year not knowing what happened to her that morning in 1988 when she went for a daily 2-hour bike ride from her Rio Community's home and never returned. 30 years now, people still remember at least parts of that story, the details that stick and rattle around in their memory. Her disappearance among the state's most notorious and perplexing unsolved. Let's see, where's the rest of the A2? Yeah, mysteries. They remember her mother's neon pink 12-speed Huffy with the yellow control cables and sidewalls that she borrowed for her ride. So it really was that kind of bike, I guess. Maybe? I don't know. That morning, the Boston cassette tape playing in the yellow Walkman she was listening to. The light-colored truck witnesses say was following her on New Mexico 47. The mysterious photo of a young woman and a boy bound and gagged in a van in Florida. Their identities never known with 100% certainty. How she was 19, a sophomore at the Valencia County branch of the University of New Mexico. How pretty she was, always smiling. How hard her parents, Patty and John Doe, worked to find her and to keep her case in the headlines and on the minds of the public and law enforcement. Patty died in 2006 in Port Charlotte, Florida. They moved into their dream home there in 2003 to escape their nightmare, but it hadn't worked. Patty, her mind muddled by strokes, never stopped looking out her window, waiting for Tara to ride home. Thanks, Kubi! John is back in New Mexico now, living with daughter Michelle, who carries on her parents' vow to never stop looking for answers. Oh, and thank you to Jennifer on PayPal. And yes, if you guys like to help support the channel on PayPal, or if you send 25 in, you can get the blue notebook. I've got 5 to send out here pretty soon, but the blue notebook with the Freak Heart stress ball and a blue pen. And for those of you who have the blue notebook, aren't they awesome? Come on, everybody. Let everybody know how awesome they are. Thank you, Mama She 13. Hey, we're working our way almost to the secondary goal here. Thank you. Anyways, I think this is about the only way to do this story. I wanted to, put it out there. Wow, it's sort of a mystery. Boom, boom, boom. Then, okay, his case was solved. Michael Henley's case was solved, it sounds like. Like he just got lost in the snow. It'd be kind of weird to have a pedophile up at 8,000 feet up in a mountain in the middle of a snowy hunting season abducting a little kid, right? Awesome. So if you don't have one yet, make sure to get one because the next ones will be Chloe. And you'll want to have the full set, right? The original Gray Hughes Investigates, the Blue Notebook, and then Chloe. Come on! Alright, so John is back in New Mexico now, living with his daughter Michelle, who carries on her parents' vow to never stop looking for answers. 33 years now, and there is still hope. Those answers are just a few clues away. She is certainly not and never has been forgotten, and we have always continued to follow leads and work on solving the case. He has news in the case of a sort. Last April, a search warrant was executed at a home in Valencia County in connection with Calico's disappearance, Roland said. A judge sealed the warrant, however, so Roland cannot divulge any information on what was discovered. Oh, wow, this is okay. Thanks, Robin. Let's see. Last April, a search warrant was executed at a home in Valencia County in connection with Calico's disappearance. A judge sealed the warrant, however, so Roland cannot divulge any information on what was discovered or what leads are being followed as a result. But it appears leads are being followed. What Roland can say is that Calico is not believed to be connected to the suspect in at least 3 long unsolved homicides that occurred in Albuquerque around the same time. Yeah. So by the way, I've got like a whole I mean it just, let me show you what happened here. What is that? Is that from yesterday?
I'll be back if you want me to.
Love my notebook. Hey freaks.
Yeah, I don't know where I put it, but it got crazy because there turns out there's all these other women that were murdered and disappeared in Albuquerque around that same time. It was sort of a similar scenario to what just happened. Yeah, it's so weird. I can't find that though. Where did it go? Bizarre. Bizarro world. I had a whole folder that I was already building up regarding it. It was kind of similar to the Florida one we did yesterday. Okay. What Roland can say is that Calico is not believed to be connected to the suspect in at least 3 long unsolved homicides that occurred in Albuquerque around the same time. Last month, Paul Apodaca was charged in 1988 murder of Athena Oakley, another UNN student. Albuquerque police say he also confessed to at least 2 more homicides, including the 1989 shooting death of 18-year-old Caitlin Arquette, whose case has also been one of the most enduring unsolved mysteries in New Mexico. We are not aware of any potential connection between Paul Apodaca and the disappearance of Tara Calico, Albuquerque police spokesman Gilbert Gallegos confirmed. Hopes have risen and fallen over the years, so it's hard to place much hope on whatever the search warrant may lead to. And still we hope. Hundreds of thousands of Americans have been obsessed with this month with the disappearance of another young woman, her case going viral. Gabby Petito, 22, had been missing for days from her Instagram documented cross-country van life trip with her fiancé, Brian Laundrie, before her family filed a missing person report September 11th, after learning that Laundrie and the van had quietly returned home to Northport, Florida. Women disappear more often than most of us know. Their trail, cold and worse, rarely followed to the answers. Few receive the same public attention as Calico or Petito. This Tuesday, for example, marked the 36th year since Deborah Lansdale, 29. See, we talk about this all the time. You know, some cases just get popular and some aren't. But 36-year anniversary since Deborah Lansdale, 29, of Bellin disappeared. Her Porsche found 5 months later in the 1500 block of Gold Southeast in Albuquerque. Like Calico and Petito, Lansdale was young, white, and pretty, but I bet you've never heard of her. Well, I haven't, so might as well take a look at that one. Oh, I know where that is. I put it in yesterday for tomorrow. So here's the Annette Gonzalez, Susan Laporte, Teal Pennington. These are all, I think this is it right here. Let's see. Or is this from yesterday? Now I can't even remember. Yeah, Santa Fe in 1980s. So Santa Fe and Albuquerque. So we've got these, whole nother thing to look at. It's kind of interesting how it works like that. Like I'll be covering a case and then they'll say, well, it might not be connected to so-and-so. And then I look at that one and then now that person's lumped with about 6 or 7 other people. And then it just gets kind of crazy after a while. Oh yeah, so I was going to get that name and put it in that same folder. Hold on. New folder, what was her name? Did I lose that page that I was on? Oh, there it is. But you bet you never. Deborah Lansdale. And I don't need links or anything like that. I just look it up myself. Lansdale. There we go. Hundreds more women, many who are minorities, go missing. Their stories largely unheard by the public. As of 2016, the National Crime Information Center has reported more than 5,700 missing American Indian and Alaskan natives. And I'd love to help that out. The problem is they don't help themselves out. Everybody's quiet and clammed up and they don't say anything. Like you try to get a guest on and it's just all secretive and it just doesn't work. So there needs to be a little bit more openness there. They are among the missing and murdered indigenous women. That's an organization we've donated to. And if nothing else, the Petito case has shown they deserve attention too. And I hope, as I have for 33 years, that this year, Tara Calico gets the attention her case needs to bring those answers home. All right, then we've got today. New Mexico authorities identify suspects in 1988 cold case disappearance of 19-year-old Tara Calico. Tara Calico. It's been almost 35 years since Tara Calico disappeared during a bicycle ride near her home in New Mexico, but authorities announced Tuesday that they have enough evidence now to turn the case over to the district attorney's office. The suspects have been named and court records remain sealed. Authorities said they hope to provide more information as the case progresses. It'll be really interesting to see if it is what the 2008 article said with the sheriff. That would be really interesting. I think it's sort of starting to sound like that. And doesn't it also seem now that isn't it possible that her Walkman, that's why I waited to bring that up, was found over here because her body was put up here somewhere. Look at that. You get up in those mountains there, put her anywhere. So that's what I'm going to put a circle down just as a guess that she's in sort of like this area over here. All right, that's my guess. there's a 360 degree. Yeah, there you go. Look at right up here. A 360 degree camera in this crazy wilderness. You don't think it'd be easy to hide a body up in here? Somewhere? Wouldn't that be crazy if this is the killer and they put a shot where the body is but aren't going to say anything? Oh yeah. Right at the top of that hill from where that park is. So basically there's where Walkman was found, somewhere around here, and there's another one right over here. Ooh. Oh man. How do we get out of here? Oh shit. That's bugging me. Is that hurting your eyes too? Ah, there we go. Man, how great of a spot would that be for a drone right there? Is that a cell tower? God, look at that. And there's a press conference.
Hello, everyone, and thank you for joining us today for this very important announcement regarding the ongoing investigation into the 1988 disappearance of Tara Calico. My name is Ben Lancaski, and I am a public information officer for the Valencia County Sheriff's Office. In a moment, Sheriff V. Hill will be giving a statement. As she will also state, the details of the investigation concerning the matter we are here to talk about have been sealed by the district court. Questions will be limited to the historical investigation due to this court seal. I will make my best effort after the statement has been provided to answer as many of your questions as I can. Thank you all again for joining us today. Sheriff Hill.
Good morning. I want to thank everyone for joining us here today. We are here today to talk about the progress of the Tara Calico case. With very little resources, law enforcement has never given up on finding out what happened to Tara Calico. I personally was not sure I would ever see the day of a significant breakthrough, but here we are today as I stand before you and confident of the findings in this case. Tara's family has suffered long enough. Tara's parents are no longer with us, but we do have Tara's remaining family. 2 sisters, Michelle Doe and Deb Hammond Doe, 2 brothers, Chris and Todd Calico, and 1 brother-in-law, Tom Hammond. The people responsible will soon have to answer to this family and to the community who has never stopped thinking of Tara. We stand behind the family throughout this whole ordeal, and we will never stop standing behind this family. I will move on to my news brief at this point. Tara Calico was a 19-year-old avid cyclist who enjoyed regular rides along New Mexico Highway State Road 47 in Valencia County. In September 1988, Tara left to ride her regular bike route and told her family she would be home by lunch. After failing to return home that afternoon, her mother reported her missing. Neither Tara nor her bike were ever located. Tara was loved by her
Thank you, Mama. She 13. Almost there.
family and her friends, and her loss has left behind grieving family who will continue to search for answers. In the 35 years since Tara's disappearance, the Sheriff's Office has enlisted the assistance of the FBI and together.
Yeah, but we started a new goal, American lady. That's what I said.
We have leveraged our collective resources to further this investigation. We know there have been numerous theories about what happened to Tara. To preserve the integrity of the investigation, we cannot reveal all that has been learned. But rest assured, investigators have followed up on all theories, leads, and tips. When we can share case updates or information.
The reason that we set a new goal is because on the day show today, it was so awful that got to make up for it in the night one.
We will do so directly to the
Thank
community
you,
through
Kathy
the official
Freidenmaker.
channels. At this time, law enforcement believes there is sufficient evidence to submit this investigation to the District Attorney's Office for review of potential charges. Currently, the identities and specifics of the persons of interest are sealed by the court and will remain so until a court orders otherwise. Regardless, community members remain a vital resource, and we always will welcome additional information. I would like to take this opportunity to thank the ongoing efforts of the FBI, the Rocky Mountain Information Network, and the 13th Judicial District Attorney's Office, who has assigned their very best in this case in pursuit of justice. Most importantly, I would like to thank the members of the Calico and Doe family for their unwavering support and patience. In the coming months, the Valencia County Sheriff's Office looks forward to working with prosecutors to obtain justice for Tara and her family. Again, I thank you for being here, and I will now turn it back over to Detective Sergeant Ben Lancaski. Thank you.
Yeah, great job there. Almost feel like I got to play the. I mean, this is like the family's been waiting like 36 years. You could have a little bit more like enthusiasm. You know what I mean? Instead, it sounded like that.
All right, folks. So next, we're going to hear brief.
You know what they needed to get up there is the sheriff that was in the 2008 article, or any of the older investigators. Bring them up and let them do it. Okay.
Briefly from Scott Weaver with the Rocky Mountain Information Network.
Good morning. My name is Scott Weaver. I am with the Rocky Mountain Information Network. Prior to coming on with the Rocky Mountain Information Network, I'm a retired New Mexico State police officer, and I've known about the Tara Calico case for my entire adult life. Fortunately, the Rocky Mountain Information Network, we're a conglomerate with the RIS Network, which is the Regional Information Sharing Systems. We're a small grant. We're federally funded to the Bureau of Justice. And what our role is, specifically in the Rocky Mountain Information Network, is that we bring resources to the table to just about every law enforcement agency in the country. We do focus our primary efforts to the smaller agencies with less resources. In this particular instance, we did bring to the table some investigative funds and a lot of criminal analytical assistance. And that's what we do for just about every law enforcement agency in the country. So we're very fortunate to be able to provide these services to the agencies. And we got involved with the Tara Calico case probably about 7 years ago. And with that being the case, it's a pleasure to work with the organizations, many of the men and women that are involved with this case, and we're certainly happy to see things progress in the manner in which they are. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. With that statement, that concludes our announcement for today. In regards to questions, given the length and breadth of an almost 35-year investigation, I'm sure some of the questions that you have may require a little bit of research on my part. So to that effect, I will answer any and all questions that I can offline, but that's going to conclude our live press announcement for today. Thank you all very much for coming, and we appreciate your support of this point in the investigation. Thank you.
It's pretty weak. I mean, why not answer the ones you can on video, and then say, talk to me in a few minutes, I'll have to look that up. Oh yeah, I can answer that one. Okay, da-da-da-da. You know what I mean? Like, there's no reason. He could just answer the ones that he can, that he doesn't need to look stuff up. I just thought that was lame. That was lame as hell. Anyways, yeah. So that's about it, you guys. Kind of a shorter night, but I thought we got through a lot of information tonight. Didn't you think? 3 different deals with, if you got here late, we solved we paid for the solving of the Allatoona Lake Doe, that's what we called him, and got his name back for him, and that's a good thing. And that was probably our most expensive one that we've ever done, for sure. I think that one cost almost $10,000. So that's the thing, is on this channel I bring in funds and then I donate over 50%. So over time, it's sort of like the bulk effect part of it, where I'm able to donate, like some months, I always give identifiers 2,000 to 3,000 every single month. So in a year, that ends up being, $25,000 to $36,000 or something, which is a shit. I mean, what's amazing about that is the cost of the DNA. I think it was the extraction or one of the things got the price dropped dramatically. This one person does it for way cheaper than other people. So there you go. Well, there you go. Look at that American lady. Nailed it. Kicked it right through the uprights.
Goal!
Goal! Goal son las 2:30. You guys ever watch those soccer games? I love that stuff. Oh, it's so awesome to listen to that. I should probably have that sound effect for when we do it. I just press the button. Goal! That's not quite right, Mary Lou. That doesn't sound good enough. Missing the what the hell is this? Don't we have that still out there? Yeah. Ding 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 ding. I wonder how far behind you guys are. Yeah, Mary Lou didn't quite do it right. You gotta listen to the goal. Like, go into YouTube and type in the goal, like a Mexican soccer game goal. It's crazy. They go on for they can almost not breathe anymore. Hold on, my music went away. Doom, 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 doom. There it is. All right, so I'll read this part again. So this is what we did. We funded this, and I even okayed the second part about doing the hair. If I didn't say, yeah, we're going to do the hair, we just wouldn't be doing this case. This DNA sample was filled with bacteria. We already did the full-on, $4,000 or $5,000 sort of pre-upload to GEDmatch part, and we couldn't get a sequence. So I think Colleen said, well, we could do a hair sample. Might try that. And I said, let's just do it. Whatever it costs, let's do it. And so that was next, and it worked. And that got the guy's identity back. And his name is George F. Madden III. And I'll do this part again. It says, Mr. Madden was a resident of Columbia, South Carolina. Well, first of all, let's just start here. Identifiers would like to recognize the generosity of Gray Hughes Investigates for funding the FGG work on this case. And basically, it's your generosity that allow me to keep doing what I'm doing and allows us to do what we're doing, okay? It's like a team. I do the shows, you guys support the channel, and then boom, we're out there kicking ass, all right? So then up here it is, Mr. Madden was a resident of Columbia, South Carolina at the time he was reported missing in October of 2019. He was, he was identified using forensic genetic genealogy based on a sample of his hair. The identification was later confirmed through his dental records. In August 2018, the remains of an unidentified male were found in Lake Allatoona near Cartersville, Georgia. He had suffered a gunshot wound and carried no identification. This kind of reminds me a little bit of Debbie Collier, the same kind of thing. I mean, to me it seemed like it was always, it was a suicide, But it had the same scenario where the piece of information was, oh, but his arms were bound. So then you go, well, how could he shoot himself? So then it became, it's a suicide unless his hands were bound. Thank you, Juniper's Tarot and Magic. So anyways, it says right here, in August 2018, the remains of an identified male were found in Lake Allatoona near Cartersville, Georgia. He had suffered a single gunshot wound and carried no identification. So now just keep in mind from the other articles we were reading, he had flippers on, he had weights on his ankles, he had a backpack, I think filled with sand or some weighted material, and then he had an anchor strapped to him, but he had fins on, and he had a gunshot wound to his head. So I thought, well, he probably swam out there. You guys remember this, right, when I would say this? I mean, hopefully you do. He swam out there and then shot himself in the head, and the weights sunk him to the bottom. Apparently, he's somebody that really liked the water and things like that. So anyways, it says, Sheriff Clark Millsap said, we are very thankful for the assistance, Identifiers International. They're kind of like, I mean, they're the ones that do the crazy, jujitsu, whatever it is, DNA solving. But it's kind of like we pay the experts to do what we want to get done, right? All right. I mean, that's how we can look at it. So it's sort of like they're our tool, even though they're absolutely, the ones that do it. We're just kind of the funders of cases that wouldn't be funded, right? So anyways, we are very thankful for the assistance of Identifiers International, LLC, was able to provide in our investigation, allowing us to identify Mr. Madden. Without their assistance, we would not be able to provide closure for his family. Yeah, I mean, so the thing is, Identifiers does this all the time. We're just sort of, I guess, a fund that helps identify people that don't have the funding given to them, right? So that's what we do, and that's why we are an actual true crime channel, even though we don't get the credit by anybody out there in the true crime community. They really don't give a shit. But we actually are one of the few channels that actually make a tangible difference. Like, literally, we do stuff that makes a difference, right? We are pleased to assist the Bartow County, this is Colleen Fitzpatrick said this. We are pleased to assist the Bartow County Sheriff's Office on this difficult case, very expensive, said Dr. Colleen Fitzpatrick, president of Identifiers International. How do you say no to identifying somebody if you have a way to do it? That's why we're still doing the Addison County Doe. Basically, the Intermountain Forensics, they're still sort of developing their enrichment program. So we're merely waiting for that, and then the Addison County DNA will be uploaded into that system. And then boom, hopefully we get a viable sequence, because that's still out there, Plato, by the way, the Addison County Doe one. Yeah. So let's see. The case demonstrates the persistence that can be required by obtaining DNA samples suitable for FGG. Once the data was available, senior forensic genealogist Linda Doyle, who's just like Misty Gillis, quickly identified Mr. Madden. According to Sheriff Millsap, further investigation and interviews with family members has concluded this case. It is believed that Mr. Madden died as a result of a self-inflicted gunshot wound, and there will be no further criminal investigation. Identifiers would like to recognize the generosity of Gray Hughes Investigates for funding the FGG work on this case, and all of you are part of Gray Hughes Investigates. But I want them, next time I just said, hey, would you mind wording it, say, Gray Hughes Investigates and his supporters, That way it's like, it's directly thanking you, the freaks. I don't think they can put the word freaks in national articles, even though that one sheriff said it. The sheriff said it that one time. He said, I want to thank Ray Hughes and what all those freaks do. That was awesome. Anyways, that's it, you guys. So what's next? I guess I'm done for tonight. But tomorrow during the day show, we're gonna do the. It's only gonna. I don't know if it'll be like 2 hours long or something, but it'll be the. Maybe what I'll do is I'll go back over that PDF file, read it, and then play the. There was a court hearing today with the. On the case. It was like whether or not to keep her in jail or not. I think it was yesterday, actually. And then the sister spoke as well. And so we'll just play those. What do you think about that? Yeah, last night was late, yeah. I can do a flyby. Let's see where this one is. Yeah, I'll tell you what, I'm going to give away memberships tonight. How about that? We'll do 5 of them. Even though we know that some of the memberships are trolls, sadly. I mean, think about what a loser you are to get a membership so that you can watch it and then go, ooh, 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 look what Gray said, ooh, ooh, ooh. Somewhere else. Isn't that sick? I mean, isn't that sick? Yeah, think of the mentality of somebody that does that. It's pretty childish. Yeah, let's see. Here we go. And there we go. Man, who gets him? Hey, look at that. The Azad Jensen. Marlene Stewart. Michelle Mudd. Probably one of the people that hates me there. Art with Chrissy. Run Free. Have to check those out really quick, of course. Run Free was created in 2015. That one's fine. Let's see about this one. I think Marlene was on here earlier. Because that's just what she does, Jen. She felt jilted because I removed her as a moderator. There was 2 of them at the time. I think the other one is sort of mellowed out a little bit, but I don't know. Yep, there you go. She tells stories though, like, he told me to go to a crime scene wearing a cheerleading outfit. Never happened. And everybody goes, oh, that's disgusting. I said, hey, you should go to the crime scene. You're right there in town. Maybe you could film it so we can see what it looks like. Like everybody does, just in your car or something. Whew. Wow. Now they're probably going, God, there's people in here who say what we say. Well, yeah, because you're not telling the truth. It's ludicrous. Let's see. Where was I going here? Oh, yeah, we're going to do the flyby. I got to get my music. Oh, but first I want to say thanks to everybody on here tonight. Very cool. Let's see. Amber Maiden, right out of the gate. American Lady, Cali Gal 3 with a double cat eye, Lane Dune, Eugenie, Cali Gal 3 with a cat eye, and Your Gypsy, and then Travelin' Teresa with a cat eye, then Alley Cat, Mama She 13, WNC Granny, Danielle, Marissa is a new member, Kami, Texas Annie, Cindy J, American Lady, Teresa P, Daphne, Jim Lawn, Kubi, Mama She 13, Robin, Mama She 13 again, Kathy Friedmaker, American Lady, Junipers, Tarot and Magic, which I don't believe in any of that stuff. But thanks anyways. Tarot! Or Junipers, Tarot and Magic. Yeah, I mean, that's the thing is, and I don't ever talk about those, her or anything. Just on the side, I don't really give a damn. But when it's like this constant barrage every single day, just like this psycho who went after the ex-husband and he killed himself, that's what they try to do. They just keep going after you and after you daily basis. They can't get going with their own lives. It's so shallow. It's just like, oh, I don't have anything to do, so let's just go trash Gray over and over and over and over again. And yeah, if you don't like me, you don't like me. Don't watch the damn show. But we make a difference here. We do awesome things. Yes, I'm a monetized channel. Yes, I make an income here. But I do try to give over 50% of the net revenue from YouTube. Now, PayPal's, I augment the donations sometimes, when especially, in some different months and so forth. And I use it to do other things that I want to do with. Right? I'm selling items on PayPal too, right? Like I'm literally selling the notebooks, and it all just helps support the channel to do what we're doing. Last year we gave $62,000 to charity. I know that's disgusting to some people out there. It should have been 150, right? Or whatever you want to call it. It should be. I got to give the gross income straight to charities, or I suck. I mean, have you guys ever been on other YouTube channels where it looks like a slot machine, where super chats are just flying in left and right all night long? Like, oh yeah, wow, it's great. Membership, super chat. And they don't give a nickel to a soul. Well, how do you know, Gray? They just don't tell anybody. You don't think that if they were really doing that would make the people on their channel feel good too, that they're part of something? That's because they don't do it. All right? Yeah, I don't know, Cindy. Maybe. It's pretty weird. Oh, thanks, Junipers. I'm sorry, but I can't ever be like really encouraging about that kind of stuff. It's just not in my nature whatsoever. So I almost have to remove comments too when they're about psychics and magic, stuff like that. And it's just not what we do here. We're a fact-based channel trying to figure out what's actually going on. I did talk to Kristen, or message with Kristen Smith, one of the 6 women killed in Portland, and she says it's not really that homeless encampment part that it looks like, that with the boards, remember that? It's somewhere else around in there, but she doesn't really want to say where because she wants to keep it as her only, like her last little place. And I understand that. I'd like her to give me if it's really far away, but we know that's right next to where they blocked the road, so that could mean that it was further around the corner, and that was just one of the sides of the road that they blocked off. Don't really know, but yeah. All right. Yeah, no, it's weird. It's weird. They just seem they just can't. They just don't get it. It's the weirdest thing in the world. It's like, how dumb are these people who don't get it? I've explained it 50,000 times on my show. It's wild. Anyways, thank you all for being here. I'm going to do the flyby now. For those of you who are hanging around, you get to see it. Let's see, it's called Furious Freaks. Amazingly. Isn't that weird that the song that we do in the flyby is called Furious Freaks? I mean, isn't that a huge coincidence there? Oh, look at that. That's cool.
Where is it, Gray? Where is it?
This is kind of a cool place, though. Look at this.
Gee!
Well, it wasn't too bad, Mary Lou. Wasn't too bad at all, you know, so... Anyways, thank you guys very much for being here tonight, supporting the channel, and as you can see, look at the amazing stuff we get to do. There's going to be... We have other cases in the pipeline currently, but so far we've done one case that was involved in some drug stuff. We got that one figured out. We also solved a case of a serial killer victim. Her family didn't want her name out there, so we weren't able to put it out there, but her family got her name, and we was able to bury her and that kind of thing. We also did the Daniel Armentrout. We've done this one, and then we also did the Peak 6 in Colorado. Remember that one? You want me to say more for $5, Juju? Come on. All right. Here we go. Audra Blankenship. Or I don't know what she's called now, but Audra. Audra! She's one of the freaks singing this.
And all I've done for want of wit, to memory now I can't recall. So fill to me the parting glass. Good night and joy be with you all.
That's okay, Juju paused. I was just goofing around.
The comrades that dare I've had, they are sorry for my going away. And all the sweethearts that dare I've had, they would wish me one more day to stay. And if it falls into my lot that I should rise and you should not, I will gently rise and I'll softly call. Good night and joy be with you all. Good night and joy be with
This thing works good on a loop. Watch, it just goes right into it.
of all the money that e'er I had, I spent it in good company. And all the harm that e'er I've done, alas, it was to
Hey, look at the taco.
me. And all I've done for want of wit, to memory now I can't recall. So fill to me the parting glass. Good night and joy be with you all. Of all the comrades that dare I've had, they are sorry for my going away. And all the sweethearts that dare I've had, they would wish me one more day to stay. And if it falls into my lot that I should rise and you should not, I will gently rise and I'll softly call. Good night and joy be with you all. Good night and joy be with you all. Oh.
There it goes. Anyway, that was Audra. Yeah. I'm not sure if she's still selling that, but pretty awesome. Anyways, thank you guys very much for being here. Let me just check one thing. Yeah, we still just have the Jennifer on the PayPal there. So thank you very much. And you guys are awesome. Thank you very much for being here and supporting the channel. We'll be on tomorrow. All right. So we'll see you then. And have a good sleep. And until next time, everybody, be safe out there. Where do I go? Where do I go? Let me hit this one. Oh, I haven't done the rap yet. There we go. Yeah, I've been doing this.
Hey, Gray, you didn't do the rap.
It's playing right now, Mary Lou. You can see it, right?
Oh, that's right. Yeah. I was just trying to be like Cindy. You know how she jumps in before you even have time to change it?
I'm a certified human lie detector. Yeah, exactly like Cindy. Yeah, it's very similar. Very similar. Try and play me like an old projector. Crime sector is my nectar. Professor Gray is gonna give another lecture. Crime collector, freak connector, and I'm always gonna be a pup protector. Fool deflector, interceptor, and I'm meaner than a spectre with a vector. Inspector, will all respect ya. Just remember I've a telephone injection. I have no agenda. I'm a pretender, and I'll serve it to you straight without the blender. And in the end, I'm gonna send ya.
Good night, Amber. Good night, Amber. Thank you. Thanks, Amber. Thank you.
Yeah.
What are you saying thank you to Amber for?
Well, she said goodnight to me. Nobody says goodnight to me, only you.
Well, that's because they like me, but not you, John Boy.
Wait a minute, Mary Lou. Look it. People like John Boy. He just doesn't get enough airtime. You hog it. You jump in with your ridiculous comments, leading to nothing.
What do you mean, Gray?
Are you okay, Mary Lou?
Yeah, I'm just fine, John Boy. But I was trying to make Ray feel like I felt bad.
Wait, so that you were just goofing. You were you just admitted to him that you were just goofing around with me. Oh man, you are ridiculous. Anyways, thank you guys for being here tonight.
Good night, everybody. Gee.
Oh man, see how you just jump right in there?
Well, they like to hear from me, Gray.
I don't think so. I don't think so. Anyway, see you guys later. Bye-bye. And be safe out there.